Hello students, welcome back in the chapter 4 globalization and the Indian economy. In this very chapter, I am going to describe the various aspects of the Indian economy development due to the globalization. So you know very well the earlier situation was not good at all for the Indian market because there was not so much varieties were there in some cases of the brands, only some local brands were there. People did not have much options or much choices before them for the purchasing, but now the with the effort of the Indian government and different governments, you can see the different varieties are there, options are there, different marketing options we are getting right now for the globalization purpose. Like there are various branded cards in the market, you can see, and people can get their favorite cards, or different purchases are there according to their choice. They can purchase. Due to the globalization, this can only happen. So here it is told such a wide ranging of the choice of the goods in our market is relatively recent phenomenon. It was not happened earlier. You would not have found such a wide variety of goods in the Indian markets even 2 decades back. If you look back at 20 years, then you can see this type of option was not there in front of the people. So in matter of years, you can see, in matter of years, the markets have been transformed, and so several questions and queries are there related to this, and these queries will be solved by the latter points, like the production across the countries. Next point, area production across countries. And until the middle of the 20th century, production was largely organized within countries. What crossed the boundaries of these countries were raw materials, food stuff, and finished products. Colonies such as India exported raw materials and food stuff and imported finished goods. Trade was the main channel connecting distant countries. This was before the large companies called multinational corporations. It was only possible, and so globalization of the Indian market was possible through the MNCs. Full form is multinational corporations. So this came to the market, and MNC is a company that owns what is called MNC. So MNC is a company that owns or controls production in more than one nation. MNC is a company that owns or controls production in more than one nation. So MNC set up offices and factories for production in regions where they can get cheap labor and other resources. So MNCs, for setting MNCs, there is such requirement like cheap labor and other resources. This is done so that the cost of production is low and MNCs can earn greater profits. Consider the following examples. So here MNC, you can know MNC, that means multinational corporations. MNC has been set up in the various fields where there is a cheap labor is there, where factories, where cheap resources are there, and it is possible only by the willingness of the different countries. So MNCs has been set up here in the different parts of the world. A large MNC producing industrial equipment designs its products in a search of the centers in the United States, then has components of the manufactured in China. These are then shipped to Mexico and Eastern Europe, where the products are assembled and finished products are sold all over the world. So here you can see a large MNC means big MNC companies producing the industrial equipment. First of all, they produce industrial equipment and they design its products in research centers and in the United States, and then has the components of the manufactured in China, and these are then shipped or sent to Mexico, in North America and Eastern Europe, where the products are assembled and the finished products are sold all over the world. So the company's customers are is carried is the customers care is carried out through the call centers located in India. So all the businesses can be run by the IT sectors. So MNC companies are running with the help of the IT sectors. Various people, various youths are working in India in the different IT sectors like Delhi or Kolkata IT sectors or different metropolitan cities IT sectors. They take over the company charge, and they popularize, they publish, they make the publicity of these companies, they make the deal of these companies. In this way, the Indian people are helping the MNCs a lot by running these their companies. In this way, many Indian people are getting job also in the IT sector. So who are responsible for the globalization in the Indian markets? Your answer is MNCs, multinational corporations, because these are the big companies. They can search for the ideal location for setting their factories and offices, and they are also searching the IT sector people for spreading their messages, making their ads, and inviting people. So in this way, MNCs are providing not only factories, making not only factories, but also providing lot of job opportunities to the people. Next point I'm discussing in this example, MNC is not only selling its finished products globally, but more important, the goods and services are produced globally. As a result, production is organized in an increasingly complex way. Here MNC is producing its product in the different parts of the world, and so their processing is very complex way. The production process is divided into small parts and spread out across the globe, means world. So example, China provides the advantage of being a cheap manufacturing location, and Mexico and Eastern Europe are useful for their closeness to the markets in the US and Europe. Actually, China is preferring the cheap manufacturing location, but Mexico and Eastern Europe is getting their closeness of the market in the US and Europe. India has highly skilled engineers who can understand the technical aspects of the production. So it has also educated English speaking youth who can provide customer care services, and all this probably can be mean 50 to 60% cost savings for the MNCs. The advantage is spreading out the production across the borders to multinationals can be truly immense. So here, for the production purpose, somebody is getting closeness of the market, somebody is getting cheap location or ideal location, and somebody is getting the benefits of the IT sectors. In this way, these MNCs are prospering. So interlinking production across the countries, this point I'm going to discuss. In the general, MNC set up its productions where it is close to the market. First of all, MNC is looking for the market, where there is skilled and unskilled labor. So for setting any production house, so all body needs the market and skilled and unskilled labor. That is available at the low cost, and where the availability of the other factors production is assured. MNCs might look for the government policies that look after their interest. Also, MNCs are looking for the government policies, what the government is saying, what the government's advice is there, because actually they are MNCs are running only by the advice of the government. So they have to take care of the government policies. You will so Here MNCs set up factories and offices for production. The money that is spent to buy assets such as land, building, machines and other equipment is called investment. So if you are asked what is called investment, then you have to say investment means buying of many things like land, building, machines and other equipment is called investment. So investment made by MNCs is called foreign investment. So MNC company some big company of India is making market in other overseas countries. So here the Indian company will make foreign investment. So if some America's company or China company is coming to India, that means investment will be foreign investment in India. So they are making foreign investment in the hope of getting profit. At times, MNCs set up productions jointly with some other local companies. So MNCs are not sometimes doing job or doing business singly or single-handedly. Sometimes they attach with the other local companies. The benefits of the local companies such as joint production is twofold. First, MNCs can provide money for the additional investment like buying new machine for faster production. Second, MNCs might bring with them the latest technology for production. So if the local companies are getting help from the MNCs, then it will be very much helpful for the local companies also, because local companies will get new machines and faster production. Local companies will get latest technology, and side by side they also get the money also. But the most common route for the MNCs investments is to buy up the local companies and then to extend the production. Actually, MNCs are maximum MNCs are not having their own companies. They share or borrow or hire some local companies, and local companies are doing the job on behalf of the MNCs. And after that, MNCs are making the brands of these things. Like MNCs with the huge wealth can quite easily do so. Like Cargill Foods is very large American MNC and has brought over smaller Indian companies such as Padak Foods. And Padak Foods had built a large marketing network in the various parts of India where its brand was well reputed. Also, Parak Foods has a four oil refineries whose control has now shifted to Cargill. Cargill is now largest producer of the edible oil in India with the capacity to make 5 million pouches daily. So you can see local companies helping this American company to produce such a huge amount or quantity of production. In this way, the local company are helping the MNCs to make the market. So MNCs control production. Large MNCs are developed in developed countries place orders for production with small producers. In the developed countries, some MNCs place order to the small companies like garments, footwear, sports items. Examples of these industries were produced where the production is carried out by the large number of the small producers. So small companies are making these garments, footwear, sports items around the world. But after that, when the MNCs are taking these things, they make their own brand. The producers are supplied to the MNCs, which then sell this under their own brand names. Like Bata is a brand, so Bata shoes are making in the local companies. But after that, when the Bata is taking these shoes, they are making their own brand, are stamp there, are making the stamp of Bata. In this way, these are sold in the market in the high cost. So next point, what is told? Production in this widely displaced location is getting interlinked. So in this way, the MNCs are doing business across the world, not only America but Europe and China. So Asia, Africa, Europe, different countries are joining together for making a network of MNC, and they are doing business sitting at their own country. In this way, there is no problem of making the business. Foreign trade and integration of the markets. Foreign trade and integration of the markets. Next point. Here it is told, for a long time foreign trade has been the main channel connecting countries. Foreign trade is a very important source of the revenue, and by this countries also making income a lot. In the history, you would have read about the trade routes connecting the India and South Asia. You know very well there was a silk route was there. India and China, South Asia, the markets in the both east and west, and extensive trade took place along with the routes. So many routes are there along with some eastern and western part of the countries are doing business earlier. But also you would remember that it was a trading interest which attracted various trading companies such as the East India Company to India. East India Company also actually that time different European companies were very much jealous of their business and prosperity. So they are coming to the different parts of the world for making business. Portuguese, Danes, Dutch, and Europeans, English people also, they come to the different places for making business. So obviously, there were various trade route or business routes were there through which the people go for making business. Foreign trade creates an opportunity for the producers to reach beyond the domestic markets. So foreign means just beyond your country. Foreign trades creates an opportunity for the producers to reach beyond the domestic markets of their own countries. Domestic means market of their own countries. Here producers can sell their products not only in the market located within the country, but also can compete in the market located in the other countries of the world. So here local market is also available side by side. They can make business in the other parts of the countries, in the other countries of the world. For the buyers, import of the goods produced in the another country is one way of the expanding the choice of the goods beyond what is domestically produced. So there would be various choice of the people can get their accessible things with their according to their choice. You can see various company cars are just coming down or launching. Probably they are coming from the various countries and importing from the various countries. In this way, MNCs are making business and people are getting their favorite cars according to their choice. This is only possible due to the MNC effort. Like here Chinese toys, you can see the Chinese toys in Indian markets. Chinese manufacturers learn of an opportunity to export toys to India. So they are making the toys and selling it in the Indian market, where toys were sold at the high price, where India actually in the local market the local toys were very much costly, where China products were very much easier and cheap. They start exploiting the plastic toys to India. Buyers in India now have the option of choosing between the Indian and the Chinese toys. So Indian toys are costly, but Chinese toys were very cheap. So obviously people will prefer the Chinese toys. In this way, the Chinese people are capturing and engaging in the market of India, and in this way they are destroying the local markets by totally surpassing the local market. In this way, within a year, 70 to 80% of the toy shops have replaced Indian toys with the Chinese toys. Toys are now cheaper than Indian markets than earlier. So you can imagine 70 to 80% of the toy markets have been captured by China. This is happening also in the MNC, because China is having a lot of MNCs and they are making business. Various MNC companies are there, multinational corporation companies are there in China. They are destroying the local markets of various countries. In general, with the opening of the trade goods travel from one market to another. Choice of the goods in the market rises. Prices of the similar goods in the two markets tend to become the equal. So here foreign trade thus results in the connecting the markets or integration of the market in different countries. So integration means this country is doing business in the another country is doing business in this country. So in this way there is a interlinked or integration of the market is done by the foreign trade. Then the main topic of this chapter name is given like the what is called globalization. You can see In the past 2 or 3 decades, more and more MNCs have been looking for the location around the world which would be cheap for their production. Actually, the MNC companies are searching for their job location, their factory location that would be very much cheap. Foreign investment by the MNCs in these countries has been rising. Actually, these MNCs are trying all the things in the very cheap rate. At the same time, foreign trade between the countries has been rising rapidly. So, MNCs are increasing their foreign trade. A large part of the foreign trade is also controlled by MNC. For instance, given a car manufacturing plant of Ford Motor in India not only produces cars for the Indian market, it also exports cars to the other developing countries and exports car components to its many factories around the world. So Ford company of Indian market, it is not making car for the Indian market only, but it also sell the cars to the different parts of the world. In this way, some Indian companies are also MNCs. So here this raises a greater foreign investment and greater trade has been greater integration of the production and the market across the countries. So finally we get the definition of the globalization. Globalization is the process of the rapid integration. Globalization is this process of rapid integration or interconnection between countries. So globalization is not only making market, but it is a rapid integration. It is a interconnection between countries also. More and more goods and services, investments and technology are moving between countries. Now rapidly all the technologies, investments, goods and services are moving between the countries. This is happening due to MNCs, due to globalization. Due to globalization, the MNCs are trying their best effort for making the best market. These markets are not only capturing the local markets but also providing lot of job facilities to the youths who are for searching for the jobs. Next point, factors that have enabled globalization. Which factors are there? Like first factor we are getting, it is the technology is the factor that enable globalization. Rapid improvement in the technology has been a major factor that has stimulated the globalization process. So it has increased the process of the globalization, that is the technology. For example, in the past 50 years have seen several improvements in the transformation. For instance, the past 50 years have seen several improvements in the transportation technology. This has made rapid improvement in technology has been the major factor that has stimulated the globalization process. For example, the past 50 years have seen several improvement in transportation technology. This has made much faster delivery of the goods across the long distances possibly at lower cost. So I have told the rapid improvement in the technology has been the one of the major factor for the stimulated the globalization process. Next point, even more remarkable have been the development in the information and the communication technology. That is IC, information and communicable technology, that is very important for also, and that is important for the globalization. In the recent times, technology in the areas of the telecommunication, computers, internet has been changing rapidly. Telecommunication facilities like telegraph, telephone, including mobile phones, Fax are used to connect one another around the world, to access the information intensely, and to communicate from remote areas. In this way, information and communication technology doing a lot of hard work. Information and communication technology, or IT in short, has played a major role in the spreading out production of the services across the countries. IT is in the globalization, you can see. So here, this has been facilitated by the satellite communication service devices. As you would be aware of, the computers have now entered almost every field of the activity. You might have also ventured into the amazing world of internet, where you can obtain and share informations on almost everything you want to know. Internet also allows us to send instant electronic mail or email, and talk a voicemail across the world at a negligible cost. Next point is for the globalization, that is liberalization of the foreign trade. This is very important. Liberalization is a policy taken by the government that is means giving a chance by the government to enter or making the business in the India or in any country. So if the government is giving permission, that is liberalization. If government is giving permission, that time some foreign companies will come to our country. That means it is a green signal. For liberalization is like a green signal for the foreign companies to come our country for making business. But after the independence, no such liberalization policy was taken. But after the independence, after many years, the liberalization policy has been taken by the Indian government, and in this way, MNC companies become lured of it, and they become attracted of this and making business. Tax on imports is an example of the trade barrier. First of all, to stop the trade, first of all, many trade barriers were there for making business. Like tax on imports is an example of the trade barriers. Is called a barrier because some restrictions has been set up. First of all, the government of India has set up various trade barriers. That means tax was there for making the import business. So government can use trade barriers to increase or decrease the foreign trade, and to decide what kinds of goods and how much of each should come into country. The Indian government, after independence, had put the barriers to the foreign trade and foreign investment. This was considered necessary to protect the producers within the country from foreign competitions. Actually, the Indian government was trying to protect the local companies from the investment of the foreign companies. But later, the decision has been changed. What is given in the 1950s and 60s. Actually, trade barriers or tax was imposed on this on this business, because they want to protect the government is wanting to protect the local companies. Industries were just coming up in the 1950s and 60s, and competition from the imports and that storage would not have allowed these industries to come up. Thus, India allowed imports only essential items such as machinery, fertilizers, petroleum, etc. Starting around 1991, some far-reaching changes in the policy were made in India. The government decided that time had come for Indian producers to compete with the producers around the globe. So it felt that competition would improve competition would improve the performance of the producers within the country, since they would have to improve the quality, and this decision was supported by the powerful international organization. So here you can see removing barriers on the restrictions set by the government is what is known as liberalization. First of all, barriers were set up, but later barriers were removed and liberalization policy has come. It was like a good moment for all the market holders and the businessmen to do the business, especially for the MNCs. I will come in the next part with my next in my next video. Till then, goodbye to all of you.